The Wall in the Dark by user HazBaz. Taken from the memoirs of Kithrin Veldor, Lord Praetor of the Forthright Empire. After our defeat of the Dward Collective, the Forthright Empire wished to expand our dominion, so a great fleet was assembled and sent into the unknown quadrant to search for more worlds to conquer. I was a Praetor Minor at the time, so I was attached as the leader of the nascent diplomatic corps. Something of a ceremonial position, as it was assumed that we would simply overwhelm any force we met with our vast firepower. 3 cycles into our journey, I was awoken by a flustered commander minor, who garbled hurried words to me and rushed me to the bridge, where through the view screen I was dumbfounded to see a vision that raised my fur in shock. A Shadrach warfleet in full strength hanging calmly in the dark, as beautiful and deadly as an exploding star. After standing in shock for a few moments, I slowly became aware of the reason I had been roused from my slumber. We required a diplomatic envoy. The Shadrach are renowned throughout the galactic quadrant for their prowess in battle, and the ruthlessness of their attacks. After losing their homeworld to war amongst themselves, they united and became a nomad race, pirating worlds for the supplies they needed. Although they lacked the stability of an imperium, they are the only race to match the Forthright Empire in war, and we have, in the past, through judicious bribes, been able to ally with them in conquest. They are, however, capricious, and have just as often attacked our own worlds. All this I turned over in my mind while I waited to meet their war leader upon their flagship. Although they are familiar now, at first I was taken truly aback by the sight of the Shadrach war leader, in his simple robes, as opposed to the chitinous red armor I had known them to wear before. As he joined me at the table, I also noticed that he was calm and collected, much different from the brusque and aggressive Shadrachs I had known before. After the customary introductions, I attempted to broach the topic at hand. What were the Shadrach doing here, and more importantly, what were their intentions? At this, the war leader held up his hand and began to relay to me his story, which I have accessed from my databanks and transcribed for the reader below. I am Dral Fel, of the Warfleet Qatar. By imperial reckoning, we have been in this area of space for 20 years. We wait here not as an invasion fleet, nor as pirates, or as a tool to be bartered with. We wait here as a warning. Here he paused a moment before continuing. Some years ago, the Shadrach were searching the unknown quadrant for a new world to plunder. Our supplies had grown low, and we were too far from civilized space to attempt to return. It was then we happened upon a world that seemed perfect for our needs, rich in resources, with a primitive dominant species that was riven with internal conflicts, and had not even mastered space around their own world, which they named as Earth. We coveted it gladly, so we commenced our standard pacification plans. Bombard major population centers and then send in ground forces to occupy the world while we take what we need. We were not prepared. The humans, as they called themselves, fought back like nothing we have ever encountered. Praetor, I am a veteran of many conflicts. I saw the sacking of Clibern, the fall of the Rahir Cloud, and the Battle of the Seven Thanes. Humans put all the warriors I have seen to shame. No matter where we landed, humans would come at us. Some in units so disciplined and trained that you would think them a hive mind, fighting in formation and action as one creature, raining fire faster than you can think. They gladly sacrifice themselves for the good of the whole in one instance, and then fight for their own life with vicious intensity in another, even landing in apparently hostile environments where it would seem too hot and barren for even a Jebhaf. Humans would appear and destroy entire ships with devices they had apparently cobbled together out of scraps. At first, we assumed that they lived in castes, and if we simply avoided the warriors, we would be able to take on humans in battle. But even those that appear weakest in them will take up arms with the slightest provocation, and attack with anything at their disposal. I heard tales of humans fighting on with missing limbs, of human mothers flooring Shadboar units through just their own ferocity, and elite human soldiers appearing from nowhere and destroying whole battalions. The final blow came when a small band of humans, not even affiliated with their central government, infiltrated one of our control towers and in short order gained access to our data networks, and took out half our forces at a stroke. Broken and defeated, we returned to our flagship to recover our forces and reevaluate our plans. But, to our horror, we learned that the humans followed us. Taking the technology and ships we had abandoned in our haste, they were able to engineer and create spacefaring vessels of their own. They accomplished this in less than 1 imperial year. At this point, my disbelief must have shown on my face, as the Shadrach war leader fixed me with a look. "There is nothing so single-minded as a human with a mission, Praetor," he said. "After we saw the humans coming, we despaired. Their ships were rough and primitive, but their sheer number, and the fact we had no idea what madness the humans would attempt in space, meant we were certain of our doom. And then..." The war leader paused. Clearly, he was still in some way affected by what had occurred. "And then," he continued, his voice shaking, "they opened their hands to us. Through working with our technology, they had learned of our history. They knew of the death of Shaldar, of our desperate flight through the stars, of all of our sins and butchery. They forgave us. They offered us a home. So glad were they to learn they were not alone. They welcomed us with open arms. And they were as good as their word. They pulled us to them and taught us hope. We shared our technology with them, but, clever as they are still fledglings. So we have taken up this vow to defend this greatest of races. A volunteer force of Shadrachs live here. If the Forthright Empire wishes to pass with conquest in mind, we will oppose you, and we will fight to the last of us. The Empire is strong, I know, and it is possible you will defeat us. If you do so, there will be nothing between here and Earth. If you defeat us, you will face the humans unopposed." Here he stopped and stared at me. "Praetor," he said, "pray that you fail." I've never read that one before, and that's really fucking good. God damn. Wow. I love it. Good stuff. That was great. That's my favorite kind of HFY, is where humanity bitch slaps someone who thinks that they're gonna just waltz in and destroy us, and then at the same time we also go, "Oh fuck, you guys have had it really rough. Do you need help?" like, cause that's the duality of man, this ridiculous fucking dichotomy that exists between the two halves of ourself. We are intensely social and incredibly tribal at the same time. We love each other, but we also fear one another. Because we learned long ago that anyone or anything could do anything or to anyone. Human beings are nuts. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day, and if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that would super help out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye, y'all.